Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamdiri Nashtaprahesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 8, talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai. So previously, Mahaprabhu said this important shloka, and Prabhupada gave very, very elaborate commentary. Whether one is a Brahman, a sannyasi, or a Shudra, regardless of what he is, he can become a spiritual master if he knows the science of Krishna. Further, he says, Sannyasi balya morena kariha vanchan, Krishna radha tattva kahi purna karaman. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, please do not try to cheat me, thinking of me as a learned sannyasi. Please satisfy my mind by just describing the truth of Radha and Krishna. Yadyapi Rai Premi Mahabhagavate Taramana Krishna Maya Nare Achadite Tathapi Prabhu Recha Parama Prabhala Jani Leha Rai Mana Aileta Lama. Sri Raman Rai was a great devotee of the Lord and a lover of God. And although his mind could not be covered by Krishna's illusory energy, and although he could understand the mind of the Lord, which was very strong and intense, Ramananda's mind became a little agitated. So perfect devotee always acts according to the desires of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But a materialistic man is carried away by the waves of the material energy. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, Mayare vashe yacha beshe kacha habudubu bhai. A person under the grip of the material energy is carried away by the waves of that illusory energy. In other words, a person in the material world is a servant of Maya. However, a person in the spiritual energy is a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Ramanand Rai knew that nothing was unknown to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he nonetheless began to speak further on the subject because the Lord desired it. So his mind became a little agitated, but he started saying, Rai kahe ami natta tumi sutradhara, yehi mata na chao taiche chahi na chibara. Sri Ramanand Rai said, I'm just a dancing puppet and you pull the strings. Whichever way you make me dance, I will dance. So that's a devotee's mood actually. Mora jiva veena yantra tumi veena dhari, tomar mane yehi uthe tahae uchari. My dear Lord, my tongue is just like a stringed instrument and you are its player. Therefore, I simply vibrate whatever arises in your mind. Parama Ishvara Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Sarva Avatari Sarva Karana Pradhan. Ramanand Rai then began to speak on Krishna Tattva. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he said. He is personally the original Godhead, the source of all incarnations and the cause of all causes. It's so clear about Krishna, but still people just don't want to understand it. Ananta Vaikuntara, Ananta Avatara, Ananta Brahmandeha, Savara Adhara. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets as well as innumerable incarnations. In the material world also, there are innumerable universes. And Krishna is a supreme resting place for all of them. That's very powerful shloka, Ramanand Rai is saying. Supreme resting place means everything rests on Krishna. we not personally rest on Krishna, on Krishna's energies. Means everything is maintained by Krishna's energies. Satchidananda Tanu Brajendra Nandan Sarva Aishwarya Sarva Shakti Sarva Rasa Purana. The transcendental body of Shri Krishna is eternal and full of bliss and knowledge. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj. He is full of all opulences and potencies, as well as all spiritual mellows. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna, the Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is a supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. So he has no other origin. That is God. That is Param Ishvara. Vrindavane aprakrita navina madana Kama Gayatri Kama Bija Yarupasana. In the spiritual realm of Vrindavan, Krishna is the spiritual, ever fresh Cupid. He is worshipped by chanting of the Kam Gayatri mantra, which is a spiritual seed clean, with spiritual seed clean. So those who get second Diksha, second initiation, then they chant this Gayatri mantra. There are different Gayatri mantras, not just Om Bhurvasva. So one Kam Gayatri is one mantra, and Krishna is worshipped by chanting Kam Gayatri. So how Vrindavan is described in Brahm Samhita is said, Shreya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Dharma Bhume Shintamani Ganam Mai Toyam Amritam Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vanshi Priya Sakhi Chidanandam Jyoti Param Api Tad Aswadyam Apicha Sa Yatra Kshirat Bhi Shravati Sura Bhi Bhyashchasam Cha Sumahan Nimesharadhakyo va Vrajati Nahi Yatrapi Samaya Bhaje Shweta Dvipam Tam Aham Iha Golokam Itiyam Vidantaste Santa Kshiti Virala Chara Katipaye. The spiritual realm of Vrindavan is always spiritual. The goddess of fortune and the gopis are always present there. They are Krishna's beloveds, and all of them are as spiritual as Krishna. In Vrindavan, Krishna is the supreme person and is the husband of all the gopis and the goddess of fortune. So he is the husband of all the gopis. For pastimes, he does this this bhav that gopis are married to somebody else. But actually, he is a husband of all the gopis. The trees in Vrindavan are wish-fulfilling trees. So all the trees are desire-fulfilling, kalpataru. The land is made of touchstone and the water is nectar. Words are musical vibrations and all movements are dancing. So whatever we speak, or whatever Vrindavan Vasis, they speak, it's a music. And when they walk, it's like dancing. The flute is the Lord's constant companion. The planet Golok Vrindavan is self-luminous like the sun and is full of spiritual bliss. So if Golok Vrindavan is self-luminous, does that mean there is no night over there? No, obviously night is there. Krishna has to perform his pastimes at night with the gopis, which he cannot do in the daytime. So, but night, day, rain, no rain, spring, whatever season, everything is there to serve Krishna, to serve in his pastimes. The perfection of life lies in tasting that spiritual existence. Therefore, everyone should cultivate its knowledge. In Vrindavan, spiritual cows are always supplying spiritual milk. Not a single moment is wasted there. In other words, there is no past, present, or future. Not a single particle of time is wasted. Within this material universe, the devotees worship that transcendental abode as Golok Vrindavan. Lord Brahma himself said, "Let me worship that spiritual land where Krishna is present." This transcendental Vrindavan is not appreciated by those who are not devotees or self-realized souls, because this Vrindavan Dham is all spiritual. The pastimes of the Lord there are also spiritual. None are material. According to a prayer by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Ar kabe nitai chandera karuna haive, sansara vasana mora kabe tuchha haive. When will Lord Nityanand have mercy upon me so that I can realize the uselessness of material pleasure? Vishaya chariya kabe shuddha have mana, kabe ham heraba shri vrindavana. When will my mind be cleansed of all material dirt so that I'll be able to feel the presence of spiritual Vrindavan? Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibeyakuti Kabe Hama Bhujab se Jugala Piriti. When will I be attracted to the instructions of the Goswami so that I'll be able to understand what is Radha and Krishna, what is Vrindavan? So this is how we make progress. And this desire, this intense desire in the heart is there, should be there. That is how we make progress. These verses indicate that one first has to be purified of all material desires and all attraction for fruitive activity and speculative knowledge, if one wishes to understand Vrindavan. In reference to the words aprakrit navina madan, aprakrit refers to that which is the very opposite of the material conception. Aprakrit, not material. The Mayavadis consider this to be zero or impersonal, but that is not the case. Everything in the material world is dull, but in the spiritual world, everything is alive. The desire for enjoyment is present both in Krishna and in his parts and parts of the living entities. In the spiritual world, such desires are also spiritual. No one should mistakenly consider such desires to be material. In the material world, if one is sexually inclined and enjoys sex life, he enjoys something temporary. His enjoyment vanishes after a few minutes. However, in the spiritual world, the same enjoyment may be there, but it never vanishes. It is continuously enjoyed. In the spiritual world, such sex pleasure appears to the enjoyer to be more and more relishable with each new feature. In the material world, however, sex enjoyment becomes distasteful after a few minutes only, and it is never permanent. Because Krishna appears very much sexually inclined, he is called the new Cupid in the spiritual world. There is no material inebriety in such desire, however. So no material inebriety. And Krishna is a Rasik Shekhar. He is a source of all the rasas, and this rasa also. But there is no material contamination in that. Gayantam trayate yasmad gayatri tvam tatah smrita. One who chants a Gayatri mantra is gradually delivered from the material clutches. In other words, that which delivers one from material entanglement is called Gayatri. That explanation of Gayatri mantra is found in Madhya Lila, chapter 21. Text 125. Kam Gayatri Mantra Rupa Hai Krishnera Swarupa. Sardha 24 Akshar Tar Hai. Sahi Akshar Chandra Hai. Krishne Kari Uday. Trijagat Kaila Kamamaya. The Kam Gayatri Mantra is just like a Vedic hymn, but it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. There is no difference between the Kam Gayatri and Krishna. Both are composed of 24 and a half transcendental syllables. So this 24 and a half, this is very difficult to understand. And I believe it was Baldev Vidyabhushan who got confused. How can there be 24 and a half syllables? Any mantra should have full syllables. Why half? And he read that Kam Gayatri again and again, and he could not figure out how there are 24 and a half syllables. But it was explained someplace that why. And actually, Radharani appeared in his dream to tell him, go read that scripture, and in that scripture it is described why 24 and a half syllables. The mantra depicted in letters is also Krishna, and the mantra rises just like the moon. Due to this, there is a perverted reflection of desire in human society and among all kinds of living entities. In the mantra, Kleem Kamadevaya Vidmahe Pushpa Banaya Dhimahi Tanno Nanga Prachodayat. So that is Kamgayatri. Krishna is called Kamadeva, Pushpa Ban, and Ananga. Kamdev is Mother Mohan, the deity who establishes our relationship with Krishna. Pushpavan, he who carries an arrow made of flowers, is Govinda, the personality of Godhead, who accepts our devotional service. And Ananga is Gopijan Vallabh, who satisfies all the gopis and is the ultimate goal of life. So all three, Madan Mohan, Govindji, Gopijan Vallabh, all are there in this Kam Gayatri mantra. This Kam Gayatri simply does not belong to this material world. So one can say we are just reading it. No. So even if we read it, especially about Gayatri mantras, it has become a fashion to read them on YouTube or some recordings, to listen to them. The Gayatri mantra is supposed to be given by Guru in the ear of the disciple, and then it takes effect. Although it doesn't take the proper effect. Then what about Hare Krishna Mahamantra? The good thing about Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given it open to all. Anybody can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that's why anybody and everybody gets benefited. There's a potency of Hare Krishna, although Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also not different from Radharani and Krishna. And here Prabhupada said, Gayatri mantra is not different from Krishna. True. But there's a rules for chanting Gayatri mantra. There are no rules for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's a difference. When one is advanced in spiritual understanding, he can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his spiritually purified senses and fulfill the desires of the Lord. As Krishna also says, Man mana bhav madhavakta, always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. In Brahm Samhita it is said, Atha venu ninadasya trai murti mai gati furanti pravivisheshu mukha bijani swayambhuva. Then Gayatri, mother of the Vedas, having been manifested by the divine sound of Sri Krishna's flute, entered the lotus mouth of Brahma, the self-born, through his 8 ear holes. Thus, the lotus-born Brahma received the Gayatri mantra, which had sprung from the song of Sri Krishna's flute. In this way, he attained twice-born status, having been initiated by the supreme primal preceptor, Godhead himself. So this is when Brahmaji appeared on the lotus flower, and he was only one, only creature in the whole universe. He didn't know what to do. What is he doing? What I am here for? So he went inside the stem of the lotus flower. He went all the way down to the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And he could not understand, where am I, what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do. So, and he came back up and sat down on the lotus flower. And then he heard the sound, tap, do tapasya. So he did tapasya. And when he was, for a very, very long time, he did tapasya. And when he was purified, then he heard this divine sound of Krishna's flute, which is Gayatri mantra. And then he got initiated by this Gayatri mantra. And then he got, and this is what Prabhupada says, enlightened by the recollection of that Gayatri, which embodies the 3 Vedas, Brahma became acquainted with the expanse of the ocean of truth. Then he worshipped Shri Krishna, the essence of all the Vedas, with a hymn. So then he understood everything. And then he understood how to do the creation from this Gayatri only. The vibration of Krishna's flute is the origin of the Vedic hymns. Lord Brahma, who is seated on a lotus flower, heard the sound vibration of Krishna's flute and was thereby initiated by the Gayatri mantra. Further, Ramanand Rai says, Purusha Yoshit Kipa Sthavar Jangam Sarva Chitta Karshak Sakshat Manmat Madan. I guess I'll take it tomorrow again. Long purport by Mahatma. So it's wonderful how he is glorifying, first is glorifying Krishna. And he's speaking in Tattva of Krishna and Radharani to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mant.
how is the calm Gayatri mantra different from the Gayatri mantra we know? Please explain.
The Gayatri mantra that normally people know is Om Bhurvasva, right?
Yes, yes.
But this calm Gayatri, as Prabhupada said, Kleem Kam Devaya Vidmahe Pushpavanaye Dhimai Tanno Nanga Prachodayant. So this is calm Gayatri.
Oh.
And before that, we also chant Guru Gayatri, Gaur Gayatri, Gopal Gayatri, and then this calm Gayatri.
Okay.
So I mean, once somebody gets the initiation, Brahman initiation, by a bona fide guru, then he gets this Gayatri mantra.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी, जो क्रिमिनेशन ग्राउंड्स में चलता रहता है, ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः, मंदिरों में चलता रहता है, तो ये चीज इज इट शुड नॉट बी देयर, या इज इट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ देखा देखी, लाइक फैशन हो गया है, या क्या है? मतलब इसके पीछे कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे नहीं, पहले मुझे लगता था कि ये ठीक है, गायत्री मंत्र है, मतलब ठीक है, सब जगह होना चाहिए, बट आफ्टर रीडिंग दिस तो अब लग रहा है कि वो गलत करते हैं।
See, it's better than nothing.
अच्छा, okay.
Better than hearing something else. But the point is, it will not have full effect until one is purified enough or qualified to take it from a proper guru.
Okay.
Yes, better के हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र चलाएं, क्योंकि that is open for all. The Mahaprabhu gave it for everybody. People who say no, we want to hear Gayatri. That's okay. What to do?
Especially Arya Samaji people will also be, बहुत ज़्यादा inclined हैं इसीलिए हवन and गायत्री मंत्र उनके यहाँ क्रिया विद्या भी होती है, तो उसमें भी वो गायत्री मंत्र पूरी करके राम नाम नहीं जपेंगे, गायत्री मंत्र का ही करके
I
and
know.
then they end off है
I know.
ना, उसमें भी बहुत ज़्यादा
And
है
then
वो।
there is Gayatri Parivar itself. The whole organization is there.
हाँ
But the thing is, it's something better than nothing.
ओके ठीक है।
आपकी आवाज कट रही है प्रभु जी।
कुछ नेटवर्क में प्रश्न ये है ना प्रभु, जप करते हैं और मंत्र उच्चारण ना, महामंत्र हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। तो इसे एक तो प्रभु जी ने आप इसको जैसे हम भजन करते हैं उस तरह से महामंत्र का जोर से कहते हैं, जैसे हम इसको कहते हैं तो वो चीज करते हैं। बट सेम चीज जैसे माला भी हम करते हैं, जैसे आप कहते हैं ना प्रभु जी 16 माला हमें रोज करनी चाहिए, तो 6 जो माला करते हैं तो क्या इन द सेंस एक नॉर्मल वॉइस में क्या कर सकते, क्योंकि जब हम करते हैं होना है तो
बीच में आपकी आवाज कट रही है, पर जो मैंने समझा आपका क्वेश्चन, जब जप करते हैं तो इतनी जोर से होना चाहिए कि हम सुन सकें, मतलब ज्यादा लाउडली नहीं कि पूरे घर को सुनाना है। हालांकि हरिदास ठाकुर जब जप करते थे तो 64 माला वो थोड़ा लाउडली करते थे, अपने आप को सुन सकें। थोड़ा 64 माला एकदम मतलब हल्के जितना खुद ही सुन सकें, एंड देन 64 माला एकदम मन के अंदर। But that was him, we cannot imitate him. तो हमें इतनी जोर से बोलना है कि एक तो नींद ना आए और दूसरा सिर्फ हम सुन सकें। इतना जोर से भी नहीं बोलना कि पूरा डिस्टर्ब हो सबको। कीर्तन, yes, कीर्तन can go on loudly, but our jap should be soft, that we can hear. So somehow his connection was not good, so he cannot hear. So anyway, I guess we can stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।